Welcome to BB with Paul Parker. On today's program, we're gonna capture the essential ideas from a model proposal with our guests. Let's introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Ice. I am a historian.
Call me Bo, and I am a socialist.
Hi, I'm Pal.
Hi, I'm Pat. What a pleasure to be here.
A model's proposals were written by Jonathan Swift during the early middle years of the 18th century. Well, let's kick the ball rolling. I would like to start with Ice. Could you please give me some historical context from a model proposal in a short and understandable way?
Well, I would like to talk about history by 1700. Ireland was so completely dominated by England that it seemed like a conquered territory. All the laws governing Ireland came from the English Parliament. The English also strangled the country by restricting Irish trade economically and agriculture. So, these fields were available even in the best year. Life was hard for Ireland's poor when crops failed this several years during the 1770s manifest starvation.
Okay. Do you have any contact that seems interesting to you, like law or religions?
Well, my favorite is autumn, religions and class division further by the English added to Ireland's political and economic world. The vast majority of Irish were Roman Catholic who, according to English law, could not own land and consequently had to pay high rents. Most of the landowners and office holders were Anglo-Irish Anglican people like Swiss were of England's ancestry and members of the Protestant Church of England. This is
Wow! In that period, it feels like everything in Ireland is controlled by English. Most people struggle with poverty and famine under English dominance. Good point, yeah? I would like to say that we all agree with your ideas. Are you ready, Pat? I start now. Well, could you please talk about the writing style of the story? Are there any techniques or literary devices you have found interesting in the story?
Sure. As we all see, Jonathan Swift has been called the greatest satirist in the English language. You see many parts of satire uses. I would like to talk about his word choice in the story. I can't miss it. The story's name throughout the story. His suggestion was completely outrageous, but he used the word modest to express a satire tone in the title of the story. We haven't read the first line yet, but we all see how he could become the greatest satirist person.
Anything else you wanna address? It's not enough. I hear it from your voice.
Pardon me. This sentence was quite interesting. The phrase "the least objection" was a good choice for keeping the satire tone. The straight meaning of this sentence is that everyone would accept the proposal, but as I mentioned before, his proposal was extremely cruel. No one would consent. I shall now therefore humbly propose my own thoughts, which I hope will not be liable to the least objection.
Okay, thanks for your will. The story name? I have never thought about it before. You worked on it with a quite good pair. Satire tone. The use of satire was choice in his story from the name to the end. Also, you just give us a clear sight for his languages. Thank you very much. Moving on. Proud, let's get ready. Okay, I start now. What is the obvious theme you can see in the story?
Okay, I would like to discuss the overall theme found in Jonathan Swift, A Modest Proposal. The overall theme in the story is certain. Swift used a satirical approach to critique the economic and social issues prevailing in Ireland during the 18th century. Address poverty, suggesting that impoverished Irish families should sell their infants as a source of income.
What messages do the author want to address in the story?
The purpose of this satire is to ridicule the politicians, elites, and landowners who do not see the poor Irish as a problem of human misery and suffering, but rather as an inconvenience. By suggesting that Irish babies be sold and consumed like animals, he shows how that the Irish poor are not treated as a human being.
And are there any symbols in the story? And what is the meaning of them?
Okay, let's talk about the most striking symbol. The children proposed to be sold as a solution to poverty. It's not just about infants, it's about layers of meaning. These innocent infants symbolize the dehumanizing impact of extreme poverty. Swift used them to illustrate the hard conditions faced by impoverished families, highlighting a society where human life is devalued to the point of treating infants as a commodity to be bought and sold.
Thank you for sharing. Well, the story's theme is pretty obvious, right? Sarcasm. And you said that it's written to criticize English dominance. I'm on the same side as you, that his objective was completely opposite to the way he wrote. Last point, dehumanization is symbolized by infants. I'm sure that there's nothing else that portrays how English dominance affects Irish people better than babies. Are you ready, Bond? I can't wait for your ideas. Could you please give an example of a quote or sentence from a modest proposal or something related to Ireland and England?
Well, that's a great question. Personally, I think I would like to choose this sentence to use. A modest proposal for preventing the children of poor people in Ireland from being a burden on their parents or country, and for making them beneficial to the public. This sentence demonstrates how English control affects Ireland. Most Irish people struggling with the depression of economic infrastructure, and some become beggars because of English legislation, and the whole country is given up and divided into high and low middle class for me. Yes.
I think social class looks interesting. Anything else you want to address?
Well, yeah, let's delve into some details about society and class. Like I mentioned previously that the poor were fed up to the wealthy elite. In particular, there is debate over who should be responsible for the welfare of the poor, and society land over should hungry tenants be appeased. I think Jonathan Swift weighs in by sketching an alternative society where the rich are marginalized. And moreover, landscape in Ireland seemed to be a depressing place when the number of women was only 200,000, but the number of children reached 120,000 also. When Jonathan Swift talked about this land, he wanted us to know that Irish agriculture is restricted, causing land to not be developed through the richest eyes.
For the last part, anything else you want to say? Like your opinion or your view about the story?
Yeah, in my opinion, finally I'd like to say that Irish people might have today's life happily because of a modest proposal. The British Empire might have taken that step carefully when this writing was published. A mistake could have collapsed the empire, and a modest proposal therefore could symbolize the weapon to protect Ireland from England, helping new generation be self-reliant. Yes.
Alright, thank you for idea you share. I would like to wrap up what we have discussed. Due to English dominance, there were many difficulties in Ireland. Laws were more lightly controlled by the British Empire. Most people struggled with starvation during 1770. His writing style was obviously satire throughout his story. There were a lot of uses of irony to create satire. The remarkable use is the title's name in my will. Some people may consider him as the most terrible writer if they haven't looked at his background because of the opposite between direct meaning and true messages. According to satire theme, infants were used to symbolize dehumanization. And from one excerpt, Irish people faced the male population. Many of them were forced to be beggars. The separation of the people's cause affected the Irish economy, causing the country to be a developed country. Thank you for listening to BB Podcast. See you later.